Ever since the Pokemon main series games were released, people have always been enthralled with the idea of playing Pokemon in real life. This is part of the magic that Pokemon Go was able to tap into upon its early release. The ability to go places in real life and catch Pokemon like you were playing the games yourself. And today, I'm looking to capture a bit of that magic myself. I'm going to be traveling to a park well known for its caves, a multi-hour drive one way. And I'm going to be attempting to win in the Go Battle League with Pokemon that can only be encountered in the cave biome in the main series games. After quite an extensive car ride, we were finally able to arrive at our destination. Now, this was going to involve quite a hike to get to one of these caves. So, after quite a lot of walking and a few wrong turns, we were finally able to arrive at the cave. And from here on, Cave Go Battle League began. When it comes to Pokemon that could be found in caves, honestly, the first Pokemon that leaped out at me was Sableye, but unfortunately in the Remix Cup, Sableye is banned, so I had to go with other options. Now, taking a look at the options, there were a few Pokemon that stood out. I could potentially run Dunsparce, Haunter, Wobbuffet, Piloswine, and Golbat.
So now I'm going to put together the team. We have the Golbat added. I think I'm going to do Wobbuffet. We have Wobbuffet added. And then we're going to have Piloswine. Could do Shadow, but I do have the regular. And I believe I have the Wobbuffet best buddied. I do. So we'll get a little bit of extra HP and combat power on that Wobbuffet. But we're still, oh, we got a bug here. It's going to be an interesting one. At the time of recording, my current ELO is 3228, which is ranked within the top 100 worldwide. So we're going to be going up against some pretty ferocious competitors here. And I am sitting at the entrance of a cave. So this is going to be an interesting one. We actually got a battle immediately, right off the bat. Let's see who we got here. Battle starting. And it's actually someone in my Discord server, Coconut Mauled. Okay. Shadow Golbat. This is a really bad lead. We are leading into Steelix here. This is not great. I'm going to save switch the Wobbuffet. Wobbuffet. Oh no, it got answered with a Drifblim. I think this is basically the worst case scenario here, as unfortunately my counter's double resisted, my returns, my counter's triple resisted, my return is double resisted. I'm forced to go for Mirror Coats. We're in absolute shambles here in game number one. Cave GBL off to a truly terrible start. I just have to let the Wobbuffet go, because the Wobbuffet can't really do anything. I need Piloswine to sweep. I'm really regretting safe switching the Wobbuffet, because it appears so far they're decently weak to Piloswine. But unfortunately here, as I will make another Mirror Coat, oh my goodness, this is so bad. This is a Hex Drifblim as well, which means they get massive energy generation. But I'm just in a really tough spot. They're going to get a full farm down now. Thought I heard something, but no. And now I get to send in the Golbat. Golbat, I just have to sacrifice. And I need Piloswine to sweep. There's no way Piloswine is ever going to sweep here. Icy Wind, massive damage. I got absolutely rocked. Oh my goodness. I just have to sacrifice the Golbat, and I need Piloswine to take us home here in game number one. So the Drifblim, Icy Wind is going to pick up the knockout. In comes the Piloswine. Piloswine looking for the farm down. They make a move. Hex, the energy generation. Now I'm going to be permanently debuffed. This is really, really bad. The Icy Wind lands. I've lost so much health. In comes the Steelix. Steelix makes a move. And there's just not a way that I win this game. I should have save switched to Piloswine. If I save switched to Piloswine, I could have been in a significantly better spot. But unfortunately, I did not. At this point, I'm just trying to see the third. If I can see the third, that would be terrific. Piloswine going to be firing off the high horsepower here. So high horsepower is going to land. That's some very nice damage. We get the Icicle Spear on charge attack priority. And I'm just really hoping that somehow I get to see the third Pokemon. It would need to be a 10 combat power Pidgey for me to be able to take this win. It was Altaria. They were triple weak to Piloswine. I have incredible regrets. Okay, got an opponent. And it's actually someone else I know. Ficked. Okay. Golbat. Okay, this is a great lead. Golbat into Pangoro. Okay. This is a lead where maybe I have a chance here. We'll have to see what they switch into here. They're staying in with the Pangoro. Oh, they're core broken. They're core broken. Do I decide to invest in the Golbat? I think I won't, because this is a move I know I can tank. So I am going to let this through. Night Slash going to do quite a lot of damage. We're now going to see a switch into a Tinkaton, and they are so weak. Oh my goodness, Golbat now going to fire off a Shadow Ball. I'd love to see this land. The Shadow Ball does land. That's incredibly important now. I'm going to farm up with the Golbat, switch into the Wobbuffet, and now Wobbuffet, I can just use it as a damage sponge. You're firing off energy. I just have to let this go. No matter what, like, Wobbuffet is here to absorb the hits. Tinkaton gonna go for the play rough. We're gonna tank that very comfortably and just continue the farm. I was just so excited to win a lead that I stopped counting, so I have no idea where they're at. I'm hoping, I think I can live 3 play roughs though. Wobbuffet is very, very bulky. So they are gonna go for another play rough, and I'm just gonna keep farming with the Wobbuffet. Wobbuffet trying for a farm down. We are going to see a switch now into the Pangoro, but Pangoro is instantly met with my return. This return, it is a Wobbuffet. It is basically no attack, but return is going to land. Pangoro gets farmed down by the Wobbuffet, and maybe there is a chance it's going to be Golurk in the back, and oh my goodness, they are so weak here. I'm going to fire off the Mirror Coat. And then I think I send in the Golbat. I'm going to send in the Golbat. I think I will shield. I think I'm going to shield and go for the Poison Fang. I just need fast moves here, because my Piloswine should be fine into any move they throw. But I'm going to go for the Poison Fang, because my opponent's running out of health where now they have to shield the Poison Fang. And that's a trade that I am willing to make. So I'm going to go for the Poison Fang. They will end up shielding. These Mud Slaps are adding up a lot, though. Oh, no. Okay. They will get the farm down. Wobbuffet is healthy enough that they'll have to throw here. They have to throw? Okay. And then we're just going to need Piloswine to close out this game. Okay. They throw the Shadow Punch. It's Piloswine time. Piloswine gets the farm down. We don't take the Mud Slap. In comes the Tinkaton. The Powder Snow went through. We win the game. We win the game. Cave GBL. We're actually going to get a win here. It helped that, oh, they had Heavy Slam. I'm so happy I shielded. But I saw the fast move go through. So even if it was a Bulldoze bait, they weren't getting another move. And we're taking the game 2 win. Let's go. We have our next opponent here. Game number 3. Shadow Golbat into Tinkaton. Okay. We should wall off their moveset. Obviously, the last one did end up having Heavy Slam. But if they're not on Heavy Slam, then they are walled. We do have the Spinning Ball of Death here, but so far all my fast moves are coming through. Being in a cave, you can't really expect a lot of good service. So far we've been very, very lucky. We are maintaining a solid 2 bars. They are on Play Rough. Looks like Play Rough does actually 2-shot me here, which is ridiculous behavior from our good friend Shadow Golbat. I will go for the Poison Fang and then try and land the Shadow Ball, because I know that a Shadow Ball will not be enough to knock out on its own. So that's what we'll go for here. We get the Shadow Ball. Oh, I thought it was going to be a CMP type, but it wasn't. Okay. So they overfarmed. Now I will go for the Shadow Ball. Opponent lets it go, and we win the lead. This is really nice. They're going to send out an Amoonguss. And you know what? Against the Amoonguss, I am just firing off this move. I'm just getting my Poison Fang here. The fact that they sent in Amoonguss, I'm expecting it's a fighter in the back. Amoonguss takes the damage. Oh my goodness. This is a bit uncomfortable, because they could very well have access to Grass Knot. And Piloswine, not a big fan of Grass Knot. That would probably just one-shot me. I'm a Piloswine. We send in the Piloswine, and I think I will shield. But what I'm worried about is they could switch in a fighter, and then I'm down a shield. Okay, they did have Grass Knot, so I did have to shield that. In the back is a Quagsire. Now, that is not what I was expecting to see. I bank a move on Piloswine, and now it's time for Wobbuffet to be very bulky. Wobbuffet's going to have to do the lion's share of the work in this game. Quagsire has just this terrific pacing, spamming out these Aqua Tails. But these counters, I was going to say they're adding up, but they're not really adding up that much. We do get our counter through, so even though being in the cave, I'm down to 1 bar of service here. This could get a little dicey. All right, Aqua Tail is going to land. I'm going to fire off the Mirror Coat now. I did build up to the return, so I'm hoping to grab a shield from my opponent here. So we're baiting with the Mirror Coat. We get the shield, which is nice. Wobbuffet is just so slow. Oh my goodness, Wobbuffet, no. Okay, Wobbuffet continues to farm. I'm pretty close to a Mirror Coat. A Mirror Coat's not going to do a lot, though, which is a little bit scary. They Aqua Tail. Aqua Tail will not knock out here. In comes Amoonguss, and I get to fire off the Mirror Coat. This will be able to just pick up the knockout, so they're just sacrificing the Amoonguss at this point. They're just fully throwing it away. I'm pretty confident that I just win this game. I'm feeling pretty good about my ability to win this. That could be overconfidence on my part, but the Quagsire is going to need 3 Aqua Tails here. Surely a Piloswine lives in Aqua Tail. Surely. I really need a Piloswine to live in Aqua Tail, as long as it lives in Aqua Tail. But Piloswine, it doesn't have great bulk, but its bulk shouldn't be awful either. It is a Shadow Aqua Tail. I throw the Icicle Spear, I get the shield, and now I just need to get to another one. I'm going to shield up the first here, though. I'm going to shield up the first, just to force them to throw again. And that's what this game is going to come down to. Can I survive the Shadow Aqua Tail? I am very worried. They have it here. So I need to survive the Shadow Aqua Tail in 2 mud shots. Come on. Piloswine. Aqua Tail. Not the strongest move ever. Into the Piloswine. We do survive it. We get the Icicle Spear and we win. We win again. Back to back. There is actually no shot. Shout out to people running Tinkaton, because Golbat walling Tinkaton is saving me. We get our 2nd win in this series, and we're back up to 2 bars of service as well. We got our next opponent. Their name is X Rip Bozo. What a name, but what a lead for us. Okay. Oh, but Golbat has Psyshock. Golbat has Psyshock. This is actually kind of bad. They save switch Jellicent. This is also terrible. I have nothing for Jellicent on this team. I do have options. Okay. I'm just going to let this go, as they are going to fire off the Surf here. Surf is going to do a lot of damage. And then I have a choice to make. I'm going down with the ship. I am throwing a Poison Fang bait at a Jellicent. If they no-shield this, I'm in an incredible amount of trouble. But I'm really bad against Jellicent, so I have to try. We do get the shield. That's incredibly helpful. Okay, they let me get a Shadow Ball. It looks like they're going to go for a double shield farm down here, which is actually pretty bad. I'll have to throw away the Wobbuffet. So I'm able to force the 2nd shield. But I think what I'm going to have to do is bring in the Wobbuffet, fully sacrifice it, and then we're just 2-shielding the Piloswine. Okay, they end up pivoting out into the Togetic. This is interesting. As Wobbuffet, yes, I'm waiting for them to throw a move. This is perfect. Them saving the Jellicent energy is quite scary, but they'll go for the Dazzling Gleam. I'm down to 1 bar of service, and then we'll look to switch into the Piloswine. Okay. For Piloswine, I always need to leave with a move in reserve. So I'm going to be shielding here, because if I have a move banked, I don't know who wins the Church Strike priority tie between Piloswine and Jellicent. I assume Piloswine does. So if I can leave with an Icicle Spear, that would be incredibly helpful. And I do have the back-to-back. So now this makes bringing in the Jellicent extremely risky, because I can potentially knock it out with an Icicle Spear. So Icicle Spear is going to KO the Togetic here. Is it going to be the Jellicent? If it is, I am clicking that Icicle Spear button. It is, and we win the Charge Attack priority tie. This is incredible. Okay, I really need this move to knock out. I don't think it does, but I really need this move to knock out. Icicle Spear, it's nowhere close. Oh no, this is really bad. Okay, I shield. Can I maybe make a catch onto the Wobbuffet? Okay. They Surf here. Oh, they throw an alignment. No, I was going to do 1 in the catch. Oh, man. I needed to overfarm more and leave with the high horsepower, but I misremembered. Oh, I get rocked. Okay, this is bad. This is bad. Okay, I get the Mirror Coat, but they catch it. What did they catch it on? Charge-a-Bug, and I think... Yeah, we have unfortunately lost this game. We have unfortunately lost this game. I would have been in a better position in this game if I had, when I threw the 2nd move at the Jellicent, had I gone for another Poison Fang, because then I would have got more wing attack damage, and it would have potentially put it closer to Icicle Spear range later on. But I still think either way, I definitely needed to leave with that high horsepower loaded. I'm going to get a return into the Charge-a-Bug, but it's just not enough. This is a Wobbuffet. It is like 1150 combat power. That only does half. Oh yeah, I think at this point we're just going to graciously resign this match, and we're 2-2, trying to go positive in the mouth of a cave. I'm struggling to get the recording up because I was in queue for so long. Okay, Ooh, Golbat into Pidgeot. This will be an interesting game. Because Pidgeot, obviously, they can just get to Air Cutter when I get to my Poison Fang. And Air Cutter is a lot scarier, and Gust a lot scarier than Wing Attack, too. So, I might just let this go. Bank the move, go Wobbuffet, and see what they want to do. Because this energy is going to do nothing into the Pidgeot, so I can keep the Shadow Ball for later. They're now going to send out a Claydol. Okay. I'm feeling pretty good about Piloswine's ability to do things here. We are going to go for a return. Looks like we did end up throwing that on alignment. My phone is struggling here with the 1 bar of service that we currently have. Oh, we're back up to 2. Let's go. I do have the Shadow Ball banked. Potentially, is there a world where I can bank this energy, switch back into the Golbat, and snipe down the Claydol? Oh, this is actually Scorching Sands Claydol. They do get the attack drop, which is very unfortunate. But I would really like if they were the ones who throw, and they do throw. Okay. They do throw. So can I like bank a return, switch in the Golbat, and then go for a snipe? I think that could be a nice play. Okay. We bank it. We send in the Golbat. We're firing off the Shadow Ball. I'm hoping they just let this go. They will get a healthy farm down with the Pidgeot. They do let it go, but I have a banked return. In comes the Pidgeot. We're going to get a few wing attacks. Pidgeot's always scary here. I do have the return loaded. Oh, I'm going to have to commit a lot of shields, though, because Pidgeot's a menace. Okay, we bring in the Piloswine. Yeah, this is going to be tough. This is going to be tough. Because I think it's Diggersby in the back. And Diggersby would obviously be pretty nice, considering that I have ice types here. But the unfortunate thing is that my fast moves are not doing enough damage. So I'm going to no-shield the Air Cutter. We do survive that. It is going to be Diggersby in the back. So I knew what the team was, but I'm down a shield. And being down a shield, I'm already in Fire Punch range. I think barring a miracle, I can't pull off this game. They're already at the Fire Punch. We get a catch. That's step 1. That's step 1. We do get a catch. Will it be enough to save us? I don't think so. They undercharge it. That lets me get a return. Does this ever put it into Icicle Spear range? I think the answer is no. But I did get a catch, so I'm trying here. I'm really trying. Okay. Oh my goodness. This game is going to come down to, I'm going to get my Icicle Spear when they get their Fire Punch. So it'll come down to a complete game of chicken. Do I throw? Do they swap? That's what this game comes down to here, and I'm going to have to make the right call. I'm saying it right now. I predict the switch, and they throw it. Oh, my goodness. And unfortunately, that's going to be a 2-3. Their switch was available, so it's a true 50-50 there. And you know what? I'm okay losing to that. We will get the 2-3 in Cave GBL.
All in all, this was one of the more interesting experiences that I've ever had playing in the Go Battle League. But it was fun to use some Pokemon like Wobbuffet that I haven't got to use in ages. I am a little bummed out. I feel like there was a real chance at that 3-2 set. It came down to the 50-50 call at the end. I assumed they would go for the catch, but they didn't. So unfortunately, we do end up going 2-3. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Home Slice Henry. This is the More Slice Henry channel, my second channel. If you enjoy watching content focused around more creative ways to play Go Battle League, informative content, teaching people the game, and of course content covering the Play Pokemon competitive series, definitely subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one.